Well, after the longest pre-season of all time, NBL1 is back, baby, and we are here to discuss all things NBL1 right around our great country. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Megan Hustwaite, and joining me today and for the entire season is the great Pete Hooley. Hey, Pete.
It's a very nice intro. I don't know about great, but it's good to be here. There's a lot of exciting talent in the league and it's grown now and we're nationwide. There's going to be a lot of basketball to cover, a lot of elite performances, and looking forward to talking about it all.
We are looking forward to it. We're also looking forward to seeing you out on the floor in NBL1 this season. Tell us your exciting news.
Well, it's not about exciting, but I am. I'll be lacing it up, playing for Nuttawatting this year. A few games as much as I can. Obviously, the NBL is my main work, but I've got a lot of games left to work on, commentary and all the media stuff. So when I can, I'll be playing until NBL finishes and then hopefully jump in for the rest of the season. But excited to lace them up again. So I believe Andrew Gaze has told me that he will give me some gazies to run around in.
Hey.
So I might be the first Gaze ambassador to run around in, and hopefully they last more than a game.
Hey, anything from Big W is good quality. Now, we are going to get through all of the action today. We've got some of NBL1 underway. We're going to preview what's coming up. Two special guests ahead on the show as well. Looking forward to that. But let's crack into NBL1 Central. Round one tipped off at the weekend. It's been a long time coming, Pete.
It's been a huge, and they had the Adelaide Basketball Challenge during lockdown to try and get everybody playing and see some results there. The Women's Central, it's off to a flyer. Some elite teams, some amazing talent in NBL1 Central, and it's only going to get bigger and better. But a couple of big standouts. Tell you what, the South Adelaide Panthers are going to be a team to beat because Olivia Thompson. We know WNBL, she's been around, but she's going to be a problem. Ashley Spencer had a massive game as well. They are going to be a real tough team to beat. They are.
Good to see a good spread from those two as well. Taylor Ortlep got her chance with the Adelaide Lightning in the WNBL hub, and she's suiting up for North Adelaide, 19 points and 5 rebounds for her. Forestville Eagles had a good win first up over the Mavericks. And Sammy Simmons back from college, so we'd like to see that talent in NBL1.
Well, you do, because as the NBL1 grows, people coming back from college know that this can be now a chance to throw your name out there and get WNBL will be looking at you to see how well you can do, and the same on the men's side with the NBL. So the more it grows, the competition's going to get better. People coming back from college get to be really excited to be part of this. So some huge performances, and the West Adelaide Bearcats for the women are off to a fly. We're going to speak to Jennie Rintala, but Sky Langenbreek was awesome as well. And it's just good you look at all the live streams, the crowds, everybody's getting involved. You're seeing all the kids running around in the jersey. It's just so good to see basketball back at a level like this.
It is, and of course you can catch all the action on our streams across the weekends and everything that's happening on our social media channels. Let's have a look at the NBL1 Central men's results. Some big things happening there. We've got to talk about Michael Harris. We'll talk to him soon, but didn't he tip things off in style, Pete?
Well, he's awesome, and he's going to have experience under his belt, so he's only going to continue to get better. Some really big imports for the NBL1 Central, and the guys they've been around the league now. They've been on different teams, but they understand what it takes, and the league has grown on the men's side as well. So it's going to be a tough game, night in and night out. But as we spoke about, they had the Adelaide Basketball Challenge, which was a Tuesday night thing. Now they get to go out there, play in front of crowds, and you get to do all your normal preparation for a Saturday weekend game. So we're seeing some big results early, but a big season in store for the men's side as well.
So the Panthers winners 92-71 over the North Adelaide Rockets, and the Sabres 70-62 victors over the Southern Tigers. The Lions 83 defeated the West Adelaide Bearcats 76. Take me through some of the big performances in that game.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I want to start with the South Adelaide Panthers. They're going to be tough to beat on both the women's and the men's. Alex Starling, he's been a superstar of this league for the last few years, and he had a massive game. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 steals. Like, this man nearly got a quadruple double. Now, South Adelaide, this is a throwback, but Daniel Johnson had when I was playing for the South Adelaide Panthers before I went away to college, Daniel Johnson was on the team from the Adelaide 36ers, had a quadruple double with blocks in a game. So Alex Starling is well on his way to do that, but he is an absolute superstar. The Sturt Sabres have a lot of young guys coming through. Sam Daly's back in the league. That's where he started his career. He's going to look forward to back in their light blue uniform. And Central District Lions, that's going to be an exciting team to watch.
Yeah.
You want to see some high-flying dunks. We've already seen it's already taken off on social media. That's going to go around. If you want to see an exciting brand of basketball, the Lions are definitely going to be the one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that is correct. Let's take a look at the ladders now to kick us off after round one. We'll take a look at the women's, West Adelaide on top. And yeah, I mean, it's just great to be back out there, but those early wins in round one are super important, especially after a long layoff away from the game.
Well, it's going to go one of two ways, isn't it? When you haven't played for so long, you're either going to be like the West Adelaide Bearcats and the women, where you're just so eager to go and you blow it out early and all those. You're up and about, everybody's excited. Or the other side is you're super anxious because you haven't played for a while and you're a bit slow out of the block. So you can take it either way after the first round. Teams will start to settle in, figure out where they fit going forward. But as you said, it's just so exciting to see this level of talent back. And we're going to look at the men's ladder here as well. And we've seen some elite performances already. I mean, a triple-double in the first round is awesome. The Woodville Warriors, big win over the Flames. CJ Turnage is going to be a problem this year. Has been already in the last couple of years. But there's a couple of things. Eastern Mavericks, we've seen them at the bottom a couple of times. But you never know. In a year like this, guys are going to have different chances to step up. And looking forward to seeing all these new people step up and take advantage.
And you can catch all of the action here on the NBL1 Show during the season, of course. Okay, it's time to catch up with our first guest of the year, and it's no coincidence that she had a huge part in the Bearcats' big win at the weekend. Jennie Rintala, welcome to the show. It must have been fantastic to get out there on Saturday night.
Yeah, so good to be out on the court with my team. And we just hit the ground running right from the start. You couldn't stop us.
Well, it must have felt good that we've been through pandemics and kind of pandemics. It's been a long time. You're running out there playing. You see fans everywhere. The crowd was looking like they were enjoying it. It must feel really good to be able to not just play basketball, but play in front of fans again.
Yeah, absolutely. Been in a hub, not our own fans around us. But yeah, just finally being out on the court and in Port Adelaide and seeing our fans around, we were able to, draw a pretty good crowd, and we came out right from the start. And we've gone through 2 preseasons because of COVID. So our girls, we were very anxious to be out on the court, and yeah, we definitely showed it on Saturday.
How different was it to get out there in front of a crowd, given that you did come off 2 months in the WNBL hub with Bendigo? Was it a taxing experience being in that basketball bubble every day?
It was. To be honest, my body kind of broke down a little bit. Mentally, I tried to stay as positive as I could, but it was definitely just a different environment. And so to be able to be kind of in a home base with our home crowd and, just some normalcy going on, it definitely changes your perspective on, your sport and how mentally tough you are and all that kind of stuff. So I'm so thankful to be where I'm at and with the team I'm at.
Well, you mentioned the 2 pre-seasons. What was that like mentally? How do you stay mentally ready, especially the team you spoke about being anxious, getting ready to play? Clearly, you guys are ready to go with the start that you had in that game. But what did you, we know you had the Adelaide Basketball Challenge, as you mentioned, the Tuesday night, but what other things did you do? Spend a lot of time away from the court to just try and build that chemistry? What did you do in those 2 pre-seasons to stay ready?
Gosh, a lot of some conditions. We have Sky, our captain. She runs a gym and she keeps us fit and everything like that. It was funny. I ran into a girl from another team and she's like, "No wonder you guys are always so fit." And on a session, and she's like, "That's why West Adelaide is always super fit, because thanks for Captain Sky." And yeah, we did all kinds of things. Actually, during COVID, we were out on a outdoor basketball court, just doing some small group stuff just to stay fit. But we were ready last year, March 2020, to play. And then all of a sudden, day before our game, it was canceled. So to then go into preseason this year, we knew it was going to happen. We didn't know what it was going to look like, but it was kind of like, oh, the games are going to start in about a week. And it was just such a different feeling, because I think all of us kind of anticipated, is something going to happen? Are we going to go through with it? And so just to get 1 game under our belt to really kind of fuel ourselves throughout the rest of the season, we're going.
Well, what's the vibe been like around the whole club with West Adelaide? I've seen the crowd looked enormous, and you speak about everybody's mindset in a pandemic, you never know what's coming the next day. And you see that it seems everybody's excited to be playing. Juniors are back playing. They get to come out and watch you guys. So not only you get to put on a show and enjoy it for yourself, but you get to see all these young kids running around. I don't know if you're allowed to still shoot on the side courts during the games, but that was what I was excited about going to West Adelaide games when I grew up.
100%. Most of the kids sat through our game, but I think they get a little anxious, and during the men's game, they're over there just messing around. But they're in that environment. They love it, and that's what's so cool. A lot of our girls and guys are around the club doing coaching or popping in sessions for the youth teams. So we're around, they see us, and it's just really exciting for them to actually see us play then, and have something for them to inspire to be.
Well, basketball's back, live audiences as well, and camps are back too. You're back in the community, and that's where we find you today, Jen. What are you up to? You're not just in some sort of random canteen talking to us.
I'm in a random canteen, but there's a purpose to it. I'm running a basketball camp, and just took a little break from that to do this interview with you guys. And I love doing camps, getting people excited about their sport, whatever one that is, and just giving back, because it's what really fueled me and got me excited. I didn't really have a professional athlete coaching me growing up, so I just love being that for somebody else.
Well, the Bearcats have got a beauty in you, Jen, both on and off the floor. Thanks for joining us today. Congratulations on your performance in round one.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, from one star to another, our next guest got off to a flyer at the weekend. Michael Harris, 37 points and 9 boards. He joins us now. Congratulations on getting off to a great start.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was good to get a W first up.
Now, how was it playing? It's been a long time. The off-season has been a very long time. You must have enjoyed being back out there, playing the game that you love again.
Yeah, it was good to get back out there. It was certainly a bit different having such a long off season, such a long pre-season, but it felt good to get out there and play a proper game.
Well, how was the pre-season? What did you get up to? It was so many days, so many weeks since the last competitive game. So how do you do that and stay mentally ready to come out and perform at the level you did?
We had the ABC season, which was in replacement of the NBL1 season. And then after that was all said and done, I was doing a bit of pre-season work with the Adelaide 36ers, so that sort of kept me in shape during the pre-season.
What was it like to have a live crowd there on the weekend, and did you feed off the atmosphere?
Yeah, it was awesome to have so many people there, and you can see all the little posters up on the sideline. It was certainly a different experience, and I loved every minute of it.
Now we're taking a look at your highlights now. Have you seen these a few times since the weekend? I think you've had a bit of a buzz on social media, haven't you?
Yeah, all my mates have been tagging me in it, so I've seen it a couple of times, and it's good to get that sort of highlight package done for me. So thank you to whoever the NBL1 media guy is.
Well, mate, there's going to be plenty more highlights coming if you keep performing at this level. 37 points in the opener. You've set the bar pretty high. You hold the club record of 52 points. Now, 37 points in the opener means that you're a chance to probably get above 52 this season. Do you think about that at all when you're feeling good? Because there was an abundance of heat checks from you in this game.
I don't really think about, getting that sort of total. I just trying to do what I can for the team, and normally that's me scoring or throwing a couple of assists. So I try and do that when I'm out there, but I don't really think about the total when I'm out there.
So your goal is to play your role for the team, but what else can we expect from the team in terms of the style of basketball we'll see from you this season?
I think we'll play at a pretty high intensity, so we'll get up and down the floor pretty quickly. We're trying to, especially with our point guard Isaac, who's pretty quick. We're trying to run that sort of run and gun style play. And then when we play the half court, get it into our bigs. We've got good quality bigs. So we'll try and run and gun when we can, and then throw it inside when we can't.
Well, you mentioned that you did a bit of work with the Adelaide 36ers in that little pre-season. Former development player. Is that your goal? You're still really aspiring to get into the NBL? Yeah,
that's the ultimate goal, to try and play in the NBL for me right now. So that's what I'm working towards.
I guess on that, how important is a competition like this, the standard of the competition and some of the players that you'll come up against during the campaign in terms of your bid to get back into the NBL?
It's really important. It's really good to see the league like improve, with guys signing like quality guys like Julian Jacobs, former G League guys. It's just good to see that the league's getting better and there's a higher quality to play against, and it certainly provides a good matchup for our boys and me as well.
Well, do you circle any matchups on the calendar? You talk about elite guys coming into play. Jack McVeigh has signed for the North Adelaide Rockets, obviously training with him with the Sixers. He's an energy guy, but do you circle those matchups knowing when he comes in, that's one you really want to have a good game against?
Yeah, I think games like the North game with Jack and Sunday who have signed there, and then another one I'd probably circle is probably the South game with Alex Majonna and Owen Hullen recently signing there.
Now, I'm from Adelaide, so where's your favourite venue? You can't say at your home court. What's your favourite venue to shoot at? Because you're an elite shooter. We've seen that. Me growing up, I'm from Eastern. I played Eastern Mavericks and then Nord Flames. I haven't played at the new Nord Stadium, but what's your favourite venue to shoot at?
For me, it's probably St. Clair at the moment, the Woodville Warriors home ground. I think is my favourite.
Well, you're going to have to keep shooting now. Give us a little profile look of this haircut now. Haircuts have really gone off. Have a look at that. Jock Landale in the NBL has a nice little thing. We've seen Dusty Martin. You put more pressure on yourself to have a haircut like that. You had 37 points in the first round, but you've got to keep performing with a haircut like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do. For me, it's just a haircut, but if people see it that way, a bit of a statement.
You say it's just a haircut, but you're going to have a couple of kids rolling around in the young Forestville jerseys with a haircut like that, and they're telling their parents that, well, Michael has it and he just dropped 37 points, so it's going to help me. So regardless of whether you realise or not, you're going to have pressure with a haircut like that, but massive game from you first up to help out.
I love the volume through the front of the hair. I think that's really impressive. It's something that Jock doesn't have. Did you hear anything about the haircut at the weekend? Round one, big game, you're balling out. Any talk from the opposition about it?
Not from the opposition, probably only from my mum who wants me to get it cut. So that's probably the only one who made a comment on it.
Well, mum matters, that's for sure. Michael, great to see you in top form to start the season. We look forward to watching you with much interest in NBL One. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Great to hear from Michael, and we look forward to seeing what he produces this season. Time now to take a look at our team of the week for round one in NBL One Central. And Pete Williams from North Adelaide, 33 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. That's a big way to get going.
Well, it is, especially against the South Adelaide Panthers, because they're going to be tough. And I'm looking forward to seeing these lists of the team of the week once more conferences start. Everybody who had a chance is going to be big performances. He was huge. He gets the first spot on the team of the week, followed up by a guy we just spoke to, Michael Harris, 37 points, 9 rebounds, and heat checks galore. And why not? When you're feeling this good, just come in and get it up. They're contested 3 balls, little and one there. And that's what we said, when a haircut like that, you've got to knock those down.
Looks good when he's falling to the floor, doesn't it? Alex Starling from South Adelaide, 20 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 8 steals. What a stat line.
He's a stud. He has been for a couple of years, and we're going to find him on the team of the week a lot, and just gets it. He's a mismatch galore because he's a guard in a big body, his ability to put it on the floor and attack, and extreme athlete, and that's what we speak about. The South Adelaide Panthers are going to ride Alex Starling as far as he can take them, and we've seen him do this a lot, but normally he likes to hang on the rim a little bit. But another one we spoke about, CJ Turnage, is an absolute force to be reckoned with from the Nord Flames. 36 points, 8 rebounds, 6 steals, and just another one who's going to feature very prominently throughout the year. And just good to see them back and taking their game to another level every single year. That's what you want to see from guys coming in who are already superstars, just to keep going up like this in the league.
Rounding up the inaugural team of the week from Woodville is Joe Jackson, 20 boards, 13 points. That is a big night.
It's a lot of rebounds, and anytime you can get 20 rebounds in a game, I don't care what happens, that is a fantastic achievement. And what it means is you're going to start to get some heavy box outs going forward. So big game first up, and once you've got 20 rebounds, you want to try and at least lead the league in boards. So he's going to be chasing that, but big double-double to start.
Awesome to see. Let's take a look at the women's team of the week, starting off with Sammy Simmons from Forestville, coming back from college and having an immediate impact, 18 points, 13 rebounds and 4 steals.
Well, it's a nice nerve settler, isn't it, coming back from college? You'd be so anxious to get back out there and play. It's a big double-double first up. And then we've got Emily Winter from Woodville, 28 points. Speaking of big double-doubles, 28 points, 14 rebounds. Another one, once you put up these kind of numbers, the pressure's on you to only get better from here. So big first up game for her. 14 boards is super impressive. And in a game where you're going to have a lot of rebounds to be gotten, she did a really good job.
And our guest today, Jennie Rintala from West Adelaide, 23 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. It was great to catch up with her. You just get the feeling her experience is going to be crucial for the Bearcats.
Well, it is. And speaking of her, look how excited she was to be playing. And that's what you want. And that's no surprise she plays like this. She spoke about being anxious to be out there. 2 pre-seasons. No athlete likes any pre-seasons, let alone 2 of them. So good to see her out there. And the last 2 from the same team, we're going to see a lot from these 2. These 2 females are outstanding ballers. Olivia Thompson, 31 points, 16 rebounds. That is a massive double-double. And then Ashley Spencer, splash, 33.6 rebounds. These 2 are going to be so fun to watch night in and night out. I'm excited to see that from the Panthers, who just quietly, both of the Panthers teams have some superstar guards and some bigs that I'm looking forward to watching throughout the year.
Me too. Plenty to come from them. Plenty to come in NBL One South, which finally tips off this weekend. We've had some huge signings in the very long off-season, Pete. Let's get underway. Tell me who Albury Wodonga Bandits have landed.
Well, Bijan Johnson, the former 36ers development player, will be suiting up for the Bandits. And anytime you've had any sort of NBL experience, even as a development player, you're coming in with some expectations. He's going to want to have a big game. And the Ballarat Miners, my old team, they've loaded up again this year. Matt Kenyon has come back from the G League. Dave Hickey, he's an exciting talent. I saw him in the preseason blitz put up some really big numbers. But I'm excited to see what they can do together. They're exciting guards, so it's going to be really fun. And then Geelong Supercats. Now, which signing do you want to pick? I know they've got NBL guys who are coming in, but Isaac Turner has signed with them. He's been training with the South East Melbourne Phoenix, so you'd expect him to be super anxious. When you're around an NBL team training, you'd be so anxious to get on the floor and be able to compete. So he's going to come in with a lot to prove this year, and fair enough, I play with him at Kilsyth. He's an absolute baller.
Bit going on at Frankston.
That is an understatement. Frankston Blues, speaking of teams that have loaded up, they're going to be extremely tough to beat. Dylan Stith, Melbourne United, he played this week for Melbourne United as an injury replacement. His pre-season form looks scary. I mean, anyone who knows him knows that he can flat out go. So I'm excited to see what he can do this year. He is a baller and they are loaded with talent. So once they get guys back from the NBL, they're going to be really tough to beat the Frankston Blues.
You just never know who might suit up for the Blues either.
Oh, I've seen a couple of whispers in the preseason. If you're hinting about Dave Anderson, I've seen him in the preseason. I've left him 2 missed calls, hasn't got back to me. But if he plays a lot of the season, look out, because that's his home team and he's still got a bit left in the tank.
Love that. Nuttawading Spectres, we know they've had a massive pre-season signing this man, of course. Oh.
Well, they do. Dane Sortala's back for the Spectres. He's one of the best we've seen in bigs in the league. And speaking of best bigs returning, Ray Turner back for Bendigo. He is a stud. And I've got to give a shout out. We love big calls in the pre-season. And he hasn't paid me to do this, but Felix von Hoff playing for the Melbourne Tigers, he reckons he's going to lead the league in scoring. And he might, with the way he's been shooting in pre-season, had a 40-point game in the Blitz, but I'll go out on record to say he'll lead the league in field goals attempted, at least, and then we'll see how he goes. But good to have him back in the league as well.
We'll put the odds up for that after the show. Now looking at the NBL One South women's competition, Maddie Garrick, a big signing for Hobart Chargers crossing from Nuttawading. Melbourne Tigers, speaking of them, I'm looking forward to seeing one of the best bigs and one of the best point guards going around for the Tigers. I'm really excited to see Monique Conti play because we know she's a great dual athlete woman. She's just so good in both sports, probably any sport. But her WNBL didn't play too much, but she had a massive impact every time she stepped on the floor. She was one of the most exciting players that I think a lot of people enjoyed watching her defence. And now she comes into the NBL One and gets to be more of an offensive threat. I'm excited to see her flourish this season. Geelong Supercats have landed Southside Flyers championship duo Amy Clydesdale and Steph Blitzer. Looking forward to seeing them in action. Tessa Lavey at the Frankston Blues. They've They're flying, aren't they, the Blues? They're signing everyone.
Well, it's almost like we didn't have a pandemic for the Frankston Blues because they have just made sure anyone who is available that's elite, they're going to scoop up. And why not? She is one of the most exciting guards. We saw her play in the WNBL and for the Opals, so another one who's going to have a big season.
Tess Madgen back with Bendigo. Lauren Scherf is playing for the Cobras. Looking forward to seeing Scherfie out there. And this one, Gemma Potter will be playing with the Dandenong Rangers. She was meant to be playing for UCLA, but pulled out due to COVID. It's going to be a big opportunity and campaign for Gemma.
Well, there's going to be a couple of those, I think. Speaking to a couple of people around the league and the WNBL, that you might have the opportunity for people who are going to college next year to be able to just play NBL1 Central leading up to NBL1 South or anything, going to college. You might not be able to get paid or whatever, but just a super great experience to be able to grow your game and then make a choice. Maybe you want to go WNBL, maybe you want to go college. So just speaks volume to how good the NBL1 has got across the country, and still a couple more conferences to go, so it's going to be huge.
Let's talk about another conference to come. NBL One West tips off this weekend as well, and the Cockburn Cougars have a good signing, Pete.
Well, they do. Nick Vazoglu, another one who's on that NBL fringe, and he's going to get a chance to be an absolute superstar in the NBL One West. He's put up some big numbers in his career, so he will have a big season there, no doubt. Deserves an NBL spot, and especially with Tasmania coming in, he's going to want to have a massive year, and I expect that. And another one who's been around NBL for the Buccaneers is Matthew Muo. He's another one who just gets it done. Played on the Bendigo Braves a little bit in Hobart, so I'm expecting him to have a big season as well.
Greg Heyer is suiting up for the Rockingham Flames. You just can't buy that experience, can you?
I mean, how good is that going to be? Any chance to play with a champion of his calibre? I still have nightmares of what he did to us in the Grand Final Series a couple of years ago when we lost on our home floor thanks to his 4 offensive rebounds and some putbacks. So just a superstar of basketball in Australia. So back out there, and anyone who gets the chance to play alongside him will only flourish and get better.
We love family ties in our great game, and there's some of them coming up in NBL One West, Pete.
Well, there is. There's plenty of them. Son of Jerami Grace, so Ricky Grace's son for the Mandurah Magic. So anytime you get those family ties in the past of history, a little bit of more pressure you'd think going on there, but a chance to go out there, create a name for yourself, and I'm expecting that.
Now, the Steindls are the busiest basketball family going around. Kayla played for Perth Lynx in the WNBL hub season. Clint's in the middle of a hectic NBL campaign. Kayla is playing for the Wolves in NBL One West, and there's a very busy family life.
She can light it up. We saw that in the WNBL, and I tell you what, Clint Steindl's 3-point percentage in the NBL right now is on a little bit of a decline, so he's going to need to turn that around because his wife can flat out shoot it. And I tell you what, you don't want to be coming home sitting at the dinner table with a worse 3-point percentage. So there's going to be a lot of competition in that household.
And they've got a little boy, Noah, so it might be sort of nappy duty for the...
Oh, 100%. They should do that.
Yeah, keep us updated on that situation, Steindl family. Murray Stewart, former college basketball player, turning out for the Southwest Slammers. Great to see that our competition continues to attract, the best of the best coming back from overseas.
Well, it's going to open up opportunities, isn't it, when you come back in, and now that it's such a national competition, you don't have to just go back to maybe where you grew up or where you left before college or overseas. So many different teams are now looking for all these players coming back, and you get the opportunity to come in and really progress your game to the next level.
The Warwick Senators, that's the best nickname, I reckon.
That's not bad. Yeah,
I think we'll probably rate them.
NBL One West have some great names over there, I'll tell you what.
They do. Stacey Barr, former Perth Lynx player and AFLW player with the Fremantle Dockers. She is suiting up for them, so lots of experience there. Jewel Williams will be playing for the Eastern Suns. She got some good experience in the WNBL hub with the Lynx and a couple of other Perth Lynx players, so that experience is going to be huge in this league.
Well, it is. You look at Ashley Eisenbarger as well, Taylor Burrows. All these girls got really good opportunities in the WNBL with the hub and the Lynx. I mean, we know they struggled, but it let the girls get opportunity at the highest level in Australia. So now they come into the NBL One West and get a chance to really dominate. That's what they get to do and be on that radar for WNBL squads going forward. So that experience in the hub's only going to help them have a better season.
So South and West tipping off this weekend. We cannot wait. Round 2 of Central, and then of course North a few weeks away, but we've got plenty of basketball to discuss on the NBL1 Show. Thank you for joining us today, Pete. It's been fun. You're not suiting up this weekend. You've got commentary duties.
I won't be suiting up for a while, I don't think. There's a lot of NBL games left, but excited once I do to join the squad, and it'd be good to have a run around. Maybe haven't run around for a while, so it'd be good to have some fun out there.
Nunawading Frankston this weekend. Looking forward to that in both men's and women's.
It's going to be a tough game. So Frankston, we know how good they're going to be, but hopefully the team's prepared well down at Nunawading. We'll see what happens.
Bring it on. Thanks for joining us on the NBL1 Show. We'll see you next week.